Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nerdverse Odyssey, episode 29? 29.
You know, I think we skipped number 28 there.
No,
No, 28 was last week.
Yeah, 28 was last week.
But what about 27?
We did 27.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, so 29. 29th episode. We are just one podcast away from 30 weeks plus of this shit. Anyway, I'm your host.
You know what's funnier than 29?
I'm trapped, Mr. Nico. And to my left, with his coiffed hair, we have our caloric queen of the show, Mr. Glenn. How you doing?
I'll have you know that I am mostly muscle.
And down below, we have... Oh, shit. You know what? I actually had a really good one for you this week, but I just...
Yeah, that's what you get for being an ass.
I know. It was asshole-ish, too. Anyway, Mr. Game Over himself, Captain Rico, how you doing?
Salutations. How's everybody doing tonight?
Can you drink that a little closer to the mic so we can get the gurgle sounds? There we go. Perfect. Oh yeah. Hold on. I'll get.
Oh, yeah. Ready.
There we go. ASMR. Disgusting. Oh my god, that is the worst fucking sound in the world.
Good to the last drop.
That was oddly
That's what she
sexual. Anyway, how you bitches doing this week?
Doing great.
I'm doing fucking amazing.
All right. Same here, but that's because a chiropractor decided to start fixing me. Anyway, Hunter will be with us shortly, most likely in the next 10-15 minutes. So he's just gonna pop in. We're gonna start something early in this one.
Are we gonna have to do a sound check for that?
No, I already know the levels to put them to, because apparently my mic fixed itself this week. But no, I'm gonna change some channel news right now, so we can just let you know. As in the people I do this shit with. Hunter's in a new gym because I guess his old one is just gone. So we're either going to do this where he
lifted all the weights.
He lifted all the weights.
Damn.
Yeah, right. But no, he's either going to be joining us about a half hour to an hour late, or we're going to have to move the day that we record. So.
Again?
We'll see. Oh, I know.
Okay.
But yeah.
I don't know why when you said his gym is no more, and my mind went to Pokemon. Like, damn, did somebody beat the gym master? Now he doesn't have a gym no more? Like,
what sort of gym would Hunter have as his
boyfriend
type?
Probably a really tall, dark-skinned guy. Maybe light hair, a real sweet personality. No.
Like, what type of Pokemon would he have in his gym if he were a Pokemon trainer?
It would be psychic type because he's an asshole.
Honestly, I think he fits the bill for a fighting type.
He would go fighting psychic, I think. But I look at Hunter more like a monotype from Magic. He would be a blue deck.
Yeah.
Because he's an asshole and he likes to argue and stop you from winning.
As opposed to, your normal type gym because you're a basic bitch.
God. Proud of it. That's why I'm the red type. I cast Smash It with Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Cost no mana.
Yeah. Rico, I can see you as either a ground type trainer or I'm going to say grass type.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I can see him as grass.
So, yeah. You have this aura about you.
I'd be a weird one. I'd be like Dragon Steel because I like dragons and all the steel type Pokemons look cool because they're all edgy and
Nah, you're more like a what's that cat that was with Team Rocket?
Oh, no,
Meowth.
Basic bitch.
Normal type.
Yep,
basic bitch, normal type gym. That's
my
right.
name when you see it. You get the trainer basic bitch has entered the battle.
For the record, though, that's about the limit of my Pokemon. Like, since we brought it up, like Sebastian has, Ricky's been collecting Pokemon since forever, and so Sebastian's like, I want to show you my cards. He showed me the cards, and I could probably guess maybe 5 of them. Mm-hmm. The rest of them, I'm like, I have no idea. He's like, you don't see these before? I'm like, no.
The first 150 are like locked in the old gray matter here. Everything after that is like spatterings. Like I know of Piplup and Turtwig. Then there was the
I
Penguin.
have collected every single
Monkey.
Pokemon released to date. All of them.
Yeah, we know that's because you have a problem.
You're
You're also part of a
much.
Minecraft server where they're remaking Pokemon. So you have a problem.
I'm just gonna say this. In the Pokemon games, there's a trainer named Glenn, and guess what he is?
A fucking nerd.
Super nerd. Super nerd. Super nerd Glenn.
Super nerd.
And
more like fucking super nerd Melvin.
no, but that's my name. Just saying.
Ooh. What's that? Boo.
Your name is Glenn, but you'll always be a Melvin to me.
Okay. Isn't a Melvin what they whenever you, instead of getting a wedgie, you get a Melvin, means you get the front your front butt,
Oh my God,
wedged.
that'd be terrible. I always thought a Melvin was just like a name for somebody who just looked super nerdy. Which is funny because I had a buddy I used to work with, and his name was
I believe
Melvin.
it is
a
Melvin.
martial move.
Melvin,
Yes.
Melvin, where are you? Come over here, Melvin. Like that's why it just sounds.
Is
like
Melvin short for anything, or is that actually the full name?
Yeah, it's a Melvinestein.
Melvinstein.
Yeah.
Wow, you pulled that one out of your butt.
Let's look up on the old Google. What does Melvin mean? What is the meaning
does
of
Melvin?
the name Melvin?
What is the
Melvin, get my water. Melvin.
The name Melvin
my
means
glasses.
Matter of fact, here's a Willow
or gentle
like
chieftain.
Yeah.
Mad Morgan,
what?
Mad Melvin.
Yeah,
Melvin.
Did you hear what I
You're
said?
the
I
one,
didn't.
Melvin.
No, Melvin means gentle lord or gentle chieftain. So maybe like, a weak-wristed edgelord. I mean, that kind of fits the name, like Melvin.
Weak-wristed edgelord. I like it. That's good. Oh
Look,
my God!
I
got the
apologize
picture.
to any
The perfect
Melvins
picture.
that we had.
Have y'all ever seen Grandma's Boy?
Yes.
The fucking robot. He's a Melvin.
That dude, like, JP?
Sit on my face. That guy.
Whenever he's like hiding in the hallway and he's like hiding with his coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the main character walks by and he's like, JP, you know where so-and-so's at? Like, yeah, she's over there. And then like he like whispers to himself after he walks away.
How
He's
did
like,
you see me?
how did he see me? Right. Yeah.
Oh God.
I tell you, like that movie was one of my late father's favorite movies. And I share that love of that movie with him because it's
a classic.
It's so close to how many subsections of our mutual hobbyverse is shaped, because everybody knows a guy that acts like those dudes in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
To include the stoners, to include the grandmas, to include the cherry boys who get picked up by said grandmas.
I don't think I ever knew any like super hoish grandmas, but then again, I do hear STDs are like the highest transmitted diseases inside old folks' homes. So
I'm just gonna say that there was conventions that I went to over at Texas A&M, and this woman walked up to me. She must have been at least 50 years my senior at the time, and she says, "You are entirely too handsome to be walking around this place.
Ooh.
Too entirely tall and handsome, because you don't look like any of the other boys here." And I was like, "Oh, thanks. I belong here." And then I walked off. I was like,
no, don't you lie, Glenn. You slipped her your tongue, gave her your motel room key, and you banged her that night.
"No,
You grandmother
no,
fucker,
dude.
you."
No, no.
Again,
No.
he's teetering already in the very
No.
beginning.
Hey, Hunter hasn't come in yet, so we haven't even gotten
There's
a
only-
chance to pull
there's
in
only-
the Truck Stop American.
I'm only laughing at Glenn
one
because
6-year-old woman that I plan on loving, and that is my wife when she turns 60.
I just love how Nico, you said what you said, and all I hear is Glenn's voice go, "No,
I know there was despair in there. He did it. He knows he did.
now, not ever, never." Like, hey, dude, calm down. What really happened at that con?
I don't want to talk about it.
Now show us on the doll where the grandma touched you.
Well, at that particular convention, I actually didn't get touched by anyone save for my old buddy Rob. But he also thought I was gay, and I didn't know he was. And
That's fair. So he gave you a bit of a rub down. And you're like, "Yo, bro, I'm sorry,
No.
but we're just homies."
well, like, no, we really. I was like, this con is beating the shit out of me. He's like, "Oh yeah, what's going on? Tell me all about it." I was like, "Thanks, bro. I really needed that." But and then, like, it was a comedy of errors.
And then they kissed.
No. No.
Glenn's doing the Consuelo. If you watch Family Guy,
Take
the Consuelo.
take
No.
5 Hail Marys and fuck off.
You buy. No.
No. I respect him as a person, but I do not know. It was interesting. So anyways, enough about me. Let's talk about what happened this week with Nico.
Glenn. Oh.
Yo,
Wow. Okay, throwing it to me.
that's
This is
right.
Fucking
I passed it off to you. What's up?
All right. I didn't do much. I streamed Fortnite and Doom 2. Had like
Oh
yeah, and there was somebody in there at the time. And him and Hunter came in and started just being absolute gentlemen. It was great. But played some Fortnite, got a little I guess I just wasn't in the mood for it, so I just swapped over, played Doom, got through the first main chunk of Doom 2, playing in the
arena.
I watched that stream. I watched that stream, and it was you missed so many secret pickups.
Oh, I believe it. I don't know Doom 2 as well as I know Doom 1. I think I've only done it like maybe 2-3 times all the way.
And yet you claim to be the master of said
I never said the
thing.
master. I'm just saying I love me some Doom. I've probably
You
put
talked
more
a
time
big
into
fucking
Doom
game. I'm
1
just saying.
than I have spent with my family, and that's both my immediate family and my wife and kids. So
So it sounds like
You can't love one and not love it all, bro.
We need a game challenge.
what's
A
the
Doom
game
challenge.
We do need a game
Doom
down. I believe there was a gauntlet thrown that was never answered, Mr.
Yeah,
Nico.
what were we gonna do? Were we just gonna play Doom?
Yes.
All right, that's fair.
We were going to play a multiplayer mod of Doom. Maybe even do some custom maps like our house or
I don't want to
stuff
do
like
my house.
that.
My house is one of those like that's an intimate mod. That's not one you
I
play
didn't
with
say
friends.
my house. I said our house.
Okay, fair enough. Either way, I would say we just pick like a campaign and just go through it like Hell on Earth or the Hell on Earth starter pack or something like that. And we play some brutal Doom.
Knee deep in the dead.
Oh, fuck. Play that with my eyes closed. Yeah, no, I'm down. We'll have to set that up. I now know how to stream, so there's that. I just got to figure out how to get the chat on the screen, so.
We had 2 streamers on here specifically to teach you. And you didn't learn a thing. Yeah.
You think I learn? Nah, man, I'm in my
think that
30s and this thing just stopped functioning. Yeah, okay, so anyway, yeah, I did a little streaming. That was fun.
Okay, sorry.
I also, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I had the misfortune of watching the Borderlands movie.
Oh wow!
It took me a week and a half to watch it. It is
Was that good?
fucking rough. Oh my god. Jack Black should have not been in the movie. He was not funny.
Oh, you shut your mouth. He's
No,
he's American sweetheart.
dude, he is. But this was not the movie for him. Like his voice was off. He sounded bored. Like nobody. What's the best way to put this? The movie is a joy vacuum. Like it just sucks the joy out of it. Nobody is having fun with the roles. Jamie Lee Curtis looked lost. Kate Blanchett, although very attractive as a redhead, I'll give her that, is still just too old to play the siren. Tiny Tina was annoying as shit. Craig was actually just Craig, but his lines
It's
were
Krieg,
whatever the fuck. His whenever he spoke, it was just
That's Friday.
weird.
Friday's Craig.
Oh yeah, that's right. But like whenever he spoke, it was just kind of like weird. It felt like they just ripped like random lines from the game and just dropped it.
You got Ross.
What Kevin Hart?
I want to be your meat puppet.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand why anybody thought that Kevin Hart should play in this movie. Like he didn't.
We had an
even
entire
have...
discussion about this
I
whenever
know.
we saw the trailer.
I know, but now that I've watched it, it's even weirder because it's like he literally doesn't say anything funny. He has like maybe 2 one-liners in the entire movie.
Well, I'm going to say this. Roland isn't supposed to be funny. He's
know.
supposed to be the straight man of the group.
I know, but he's playing it as a straight man trying to be funny, but he's not. It's like humorless. It's a joy vacuum. I will say this though. Gina Gershon as Moxie did turn me around a little bit. Should have been Elvira, but she got it. Still, she got it. That's about it. Movie sucked. It sucked so much ass. I didn't sleep through it though, so it wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. That prestige still goes to Alone in the Dark. But on a scale of Alone in the Dark to Aliens, it falls somewhere around Lethal Force. So maybe like as a 10 scale, like a 4. Very middling to bad. Like that's the problem. It was mediocre.
Almost like it was a cash grab or something.
See, that's the
Like,
thing. It doesn't feel
they
like it was
took
supposed
the
to be a
first
it felt like
screenwriter they could
tried.
find.
No. Hold up. Before you go on that. It felt like there was a good movie somewhere. But then they had reshoots and edited
rescripts.
all the fun out. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I would expect a Borderlands movie to be dumb as shit but fun to fun. There was no fun. None whatsoever to be had. And you can totally tell that this was never meant to be PG-13 because it was really jarring watching like dudes just get shot by the hundreds and not a single drop of blood, especially when they had like mid shots of dudes with like fucking with like bellyless shirts on getting shot in the gut, and there's like nothing, not even like I could have taken laser burns. Nothing. So yeah, no, it was just fucking, it was trash.
Does this point to the fact that maybe they used less practical effects and more special effects?
Well, there were definitely no squibs, and if there were, they reshot the scenes to get rid of anything with squibs. But the weirdest thing was you could tell that there was CG for the gun, for like some of the gunfire, like the weird big like colorful blasts. But
They don't want to pull another Baldwin, so
bingo.
you know.
But there were it was weird because there were some scenes where I think it might have actually been a practical effect where you'd see like a bullet would hit a piece of armor and like spark.
Right.
But it was like it would spark and there'd be no like puff of blood or anything. So it was like it felt very, I don't know. It's like the modern day equivalent of Mortal Kombat Annihilation, if that makes sense.
Oh.
Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like you could watch it, and if you're not sober, it's okay. It's still bad, but it's like it's okay enough to just like watch. But it's got to be like 3 in the morning. You can't sleep. You don't want to get out of bed and play video games. You just want to sit here and do something, and you can't think of a TV show or movie to watch, so you just put that on.
Comparing Borderlands to, let's say, something like Dragon Ball Evolution, like which one?
On par.
Really?
Yeah.
On par. Dead
I'd say
even.
on par. Because Dragon Ball Evolution, it didn't look like anybody was having fun. Actually, except for James Marsden. Marsden looked like he was having fun as Piccolo.
Yeah, I didn't know he played Piccolo. Well, I didn't know who he was until I'll talk about that in my week, where he did a recent interview, because he did say he redeemed himself after that movie. And he's like, if you didn't watch that movie, great. Don't watch it. If you haven't watched it, don't watch it. I was like, damn, dude.
Well, I loved, like, that was the problem with Dragon Ball Evolution. Like, some of the choices were really good. Like, the person they got to get to play Bulma, good pick. Chi-Chi, good pick. Piccolo, great pick. Roshi. Pervy Chow Yun Fat is my favorite Chow Yun Fat. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't understand the dude they got to play Goku, or his, like, the weird fucking spiky hairdo they tried to do. Like, it was just, I don't know. He was in that movie, was it The Vanishing? Where he, or something like that, where he played like a dude, like a kid who died or was like on death's row, and he's like he's like a spirit trapped on Earth.
I know he played in Breaking Bad as one of the.
Yeah, he was in Breaking Bad. Yeah, he was. No, that's not Aaron.
One of the main characters.
No, that's not Aaron Paul.
That was him.
That was not Aaron Paul.
Yes, it was.
No, they can't be. That can't be. I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all.
I'm saying it's true.
Prove it. Prove it.
Prove what?
I don't know. No, that's Justin Chatwin played Goku. I told
you.
No. Aaron Paul.
I said it was Justin Chatwin. I said he starred in Breaking Bad, but not as one of the main characters, as an extra that came a guest spot.
I'm an idiot and didn't listen. All right, fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. He's a decent actor, but for whatever reason, didn't do it for Goku. I'm not trying to be funny, but he looks like a gruff kind of character, not a Goku.
He didn't look the part, and in the storyline they gave it was just like, I don't know. I wasn't just feeling it on that part.
It should have been Dragon Ball Z, and they should have got a bunch of dudes who just like were ripped and beat the shit out of people.
They should have got Scarlett Johansson.
Listen,
she plays an awesome Asian.
I still have
when
to
you
watch
need somebody to play Asian part, you call Scarlett Johansson.
You call Scarlett Joe.
And then if not, you get Emma Stone, because she plays a good Hawaiian.
See, you're a man of culture.
I love it.
All right, but aside from that was my week. Hunter.
I thought that was J-Law who played the Hawaiian in the Bradley Cooper movie.
Good question.
Silver Linings Playbook.
Yep.
I don't.
And joining our podcast late is everyone's favorite Italian plumber, Mr. Hunter. How are you doing?
Hunter.
Exactly.
Well, just to get it out of the way for you guys, since I know you've been dying for it this whole time. Why does Spider-Man choose to order all of his items through Amazon?
Why?
Because he really likes their website.
That does deserve a little bit.
All right. And that's my week. Hunter, I pass it to you.
You already did, didn't you?
Well, now I did officially.
Oh, okay. Second time around. Okay. I haven't done a whole lot this week as far as nerddom goes outside of racing nerddom. Because there's the Formula 1 races last weekend, which was a ton of fun. And then starting to practice for the Indianapolis 6-hour that's coming up here in about 8 or 9 days in iRacing. So I'll be doing that with a couple friends. That'll be a lot of fun.
Now that's the one where you do it on the computers, right?
You do it on the computers, but you gotta put the computer on your face, you see.
You went weirdly Adam
whenever you
Sandler
say
there.
do it on the computer, isn't that what we're kind of doing now?
Yes, we do on the computer.
Yeah, I find when you
as well.
decide
Yeah.
to do it on the computer, it's cheaper because you can pay people in other areas of the world, and they don't charge the same rates as people in America.
What?
When you do it over the
Moving on.
computer,
Moving
No, I was
on.
just saying 'cause
virtual
it's-
sex.
Oh,
Oh, I
no.
thought it was racing. I'm like, hold on. What do you mean?
I was
Hey,
talking about
is amazing.
the shit show that we're putting on.
Oh, that is
No, I
hold
assumed
on,
you guys
hold
were
on,
up here,
hold on.
so I had to pull you down real
That
quick.
is one thing I did want to say.
That's what she said.
So, did you guys know that there are quite a few like ex porn stars who are Let's Players on YouTube?
What's Let's Players?
No, because I don't want.
Like Let's Players is that's where you like play a video or streamers. I guess a streamer.
Okay, so just
I mean, that
their
makes sense to
live
me.
platform.
Yeah, they play video games live on camera. But no, Adriana Chechik, and I think that's her name, and Sasha Grey both played like Elden Ring and Black Myth Wukong. I was like, this is really weird seeing them in this context. Just gonna throw it out there.
Well, clearly,
Yeah, because
you
Sasha
just-
Grey is old.
She's like,
you just
she's not that old.
Yeah.
Really?
She's about my age. Yeah.
Damn. Okay, fair enough.
Or at least her downstairs that age.
Like somebody elbow dropped a crab cake.
Great, I brought y'all down real quick, real fast. That was good. But also, you just outed yourself a lot in just like 2 sentences there.
For what?
A, for following porn stars.
Okay.
B, for following porn stars quite a ways out of their prime, apparently. And then also the fact that you watch live streams on YouTube.
Ah, yes. I
And that
believe this was all
somehow
public
the
knowledge already,
content-
though.
But somehow the content that you were driven to on that platform also just immediately sent you towards porn stars,
Well,
which was kind of impressive.
It just knows.
The algorithm outed you, bro.
Yo, game recognized game. That's all I'm saying.
For my week, though, I have not watched any porn stars play games on YouTube.
Thank
I
God.
have been watching Sea Dog and Ludwig try to do the God Gamer Challenge, which is just a ton of fun, where they have to complete 9 or 10 games in a row without failing one. And it's like Overwatch, League, chess, Rivals 2, which is like a Smash clone, a bunch of games
dude,
that you
Rivals
want
of
to try
Aether
to
fucking
win.
rocks.
Yeah, but like no game that you want to play one after the other and hope to God that somebody else isn't going to make you lose. It just looks like a nightmare, but it's a ton of fun to watch.
You know, that sounds bad, but I honestly think the Souls-like Golden Mile would be worse, because you got to go. I believe it's Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and then Sekiro, all without dying.
That's not worse because I would just choose to eat a bullet instead.
Dude, there's some guys who did it. I watched it on YouTube. It was fucking insane. Because the whole thing is that's one challenge. One dude did it without getting hit a single time. I think it was. That
Is that the I Am Legend guy?
impressive. I think
That
so.
that is like a new level of autism I have yet to witness.
Dude, there's a guy, Lil Aggie. I'm gonna
Wasn't
shout
in
him out.
time.
He's awesome. I watch his videos quite a lot. He did a
Little Augie?
Little Aggie. Aggy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He did Sekiro blindfolded. He beat the game with a blindfold on.
So he knew the enemy's attacks strictly by sound,
Yes.
and
Sound
had
and
some
terrain.
sort of spatial,
He knew
some
the
sort of
terrain.
spatial like
Oh yeah.
super hearing that. God damn, he's a fucking samurai.
Oh yeah.
Do you get any sort of like rumble shock prior to the attack starting from the enemy in that game? Do you get that at least?
No, there are
That
the
might
sound
be.
cues.
Maybe he
in
was using
Sekiro
the same
are
thing
really,
Magnus
are,
was
really
using in
loud,
the
though.
chess match.
The vibrator. I
Yep.
get it.
But no, I think I'm trying to remember if there's any real tells. Not really. I know.
What about cliffs and stuff?
he knew the map. Like, dude, it's nuts. Just go look it up. Little Aggie or just look blindfold Sekiro run.
That is like the definition of hyperfocus.
Yeah,
right.
like, dude,
which
dude
is
knows
which is
stuff.
a
It's
symptom
awesome.
of yeah. Wow.
All right,
Wow.
keep going.
Did-
Hunter.
Yeah.
Are you a big fan of Summoning Salt, Rico?
Summoning salts.
He is a YouTuber who chronicles events uh, in the gaming culture, specifically around speedrunning. I just shared a link in the chat. But he put out a video about 6 months ago for the blindfolded Mario 64
I know
speedrun
the
and
guy
how
you're
those
talking about.
categories have evolved. Yeah,
He's
as soon as
he's the really handsome British guy with the platinum hair, right?
definitely not British and never shows his face.
I might be thinking of a different guy, but there's another guy who
I
covered
think
the
you are.
same story
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really into
That's
handsome
really
British
idol.
guys, apparently.
with platinum hair. Don't forget.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
he goes over how the game initially started at just getting a star or two, and then it morphed into, well, okay, what if we did like a 16-star run, and then the 60 star run, and now people are trying to 100% the game blindfolded, and they are
Wow.
shockingly close.
That's
Uh,
nuts.
yeah,
There was a video of a dude who cheated. I think it was the 17-star run. There's the video on that. Video breakdown of that one is really really good.
it is. I don't think he did that one. I think that was
That was the British guy.
Asimov or something. I think he's
That
one of the
sounds-
other
that
guys
sounds
that I
similar.
subscribe to, so I'm sure I can look for it. But yeah, if you get like 20 or 30 minutes, especially if you're having trouble sleeping at night, because he has a real monotone voice and it's real relaxing, and the content just like replays. It's yeah, you'll just chill and vibe and fall asleep to it probably, but it's great.
No,
I'm gonna say
I'm
this.
just amazed at that.
I'm gonna say this real quick as a warning that if any of you spoil this as I'm describing one of the events of my weeks, I'm going to shove Glenn's foot up your ass. And I say that because I assume Glenn's foot is the biggest.
It's a size 16, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lot
I'm
of- that's a lot of
going up
foot.
to
Yeah, joke's on you.
I'm going
man.
up past the ankle.
It's wide and long.
Ew.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
So one of
You
my
put on your
friends
scarf
convinced
first.
me.
Put on your scarf.
One of my friends convinced me to go ahead and try Outer Wilds because I had never got it. I heard of it years ago, but I forgot about it entirely. And so I picked it up a couple weeks ago, and I finally tried it last night. And oh my god, it is the most fun game I have played in years.
What have you?
So every
what was the last thing you did?
So here's the thing. I spent the first hour because I had some libations last night before I started it. I've spent the first hour going through the tutorial world, the first one that you spawn on. And when I finally got the launch codes and got to go up to the ship, I thought I beat the game. So that's how far. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I started playing. I went to Brittle Hollow first, the planet that falls in on itself. Do not touch the microphone, you jerk. And
For those of you who are listening instead of watching, Hunter is being attacked by a large black cat.
yeah, it's great fun. And then he goes for the mic if I don't pay attention to him. So I landed on Brittle Hollow, and I saw part of the world fall in on itself, and I saw the black hole in the center, and I thought, well, that's bad. I shouldn't go for that. But I saw the hanging city, and I looked at it and was like, I can make that with my jump pack. And a friend was watching me stream it on Discord. And so I jumped into the chasm on the inside of the world, and I kept like just high enough so I didn't get hit by the black hole. And I did not vocalize any of this plan ahead of time. And so as I'm going through, he's shouting, "Holy shit, you're actually gonna make it. This is incredible." And then I hit and immediately bounce off and shoot off to the side. And then he gave me all the shit for it. But what was even better about it is miraculously, as I hit that platform and shot off to the side from Hanging City, I then landed in the campfire sitting with Ryback. So I found him within 30 seconds of arriving on the planet.
Wow.
You failed successfully. Very well done.
successfully. And I didn't even understand the lore of the game at that point. So then I just thought that was fun. I enjoyed it. And then I started finding all the clues or the scrolls on the wall from Noemi's, whatever their name is. And now I'm like 4-6 hours into the game, and it's great. I'm excited for this podcast to end so I can stay up to play it. I really want to go to sleep, but I want to play the
Nice.
game more.
Anything else?
Nothing else really worth talking about, I don't think. The applied for a couple more audio drama roles, so those are fun.
Which ones did you go for, by the way? Just curious.
Sinestro, Rick Flag, And then I'm gonna put in for Havoc as well. On the X-Men series.
I wish you well on Havoc.
Yeah.
Let's hear your Sinestro. Because you
No,
have the
I'm
mustache for it.
There's a recording for it though. I can share it.
No,
It took a
I get
couple
it. Just
attempts.
give us a sample.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good for now.
Dude,
But because I don't want to
right now.
forget,
Do it.
no, they just released episode 4 of the Avengers series. So they started that. That's an offshoot that just started a couple months ago, and that one's so far really entertaining. It's a whole bunch of new voices. Mitch is a new writer, from what I can tell, from what I gathered, and he's also directing it and everything else. So it's different, and you can tell it sounds different from the other audio dramas that they've done on their various series that they have going on. But it's really enjoyable so far. I would recommend that.
Okay.
That is, especially if I get a part. No, just kidding. It would be really cool if both of us got a part in like the same project, because that'd be really fun.
It would be. Have you
Oh, I'm sorry. My question would be is, if you both were cast in a role to do a project, and being that this is comic based, who would want to be the bad guy, or the villain who would want to be the good guy?
And
I want to be the villain so bad. I've been a villain every day of the week.
Yeah,
I
I
love doing villain voices.
They
get
the
the
best speeches.
It's way more fun.
Oh yeah. You're needed in your sector.
Yeah. Have you started listening to any of their series yet that they've got going on?
I have, in fact. Actually, I'm listening to the Power Ranger stuff actually right now.
Oh, nice. I imagine it's probably still season 1, right?
I'd have to double check. Yes.
Yeah, this has been going on for years. So there's
Yes,
a lot
I know.
of episodes each season, but it's a lot of fun.
There is.
Yeah, I don't remember if I told you that, it's not, but I did not know that it was more like an adult series when I first started listening to it with my kiddo when he was he was like 2, maybe 3. Like he got into Power Rangers, like, all right, great. Well, what if we don't watch the TV and instead we play and we listen to this? And then like second episode, it was like, maybe, but we don't listen to this. And then eventually they nuked Chicago, and I was like, yeah, I made the right call.
Hey, so I don't know. Have any of you guys heard? Is there any news on Legend of the White Dragon? Has there been any
The last
news
time
on
I
that?
saw it was
Don't know what
supposed to
that
release in
is.
September.
What is that?
So, Jason David Frank's last role, he plays a soldier in like a dystopian future, and it's similar to Power Rangers where he has like they can transform into like Sentai pretty much, and it's done by Bat in the Sun Productions.
So yeah, they picked September 4th for release date because that was Jason David Frank's birthday, right? I believe
September 4th?
So it should have came out yesterday.
Oh,
yeah,
That was yesterday. Yeah.
nice. I will take a look for that then.
Let's see.
Okay. So Hunter, you want to pass it off while you're doing that research?
Yeah, but I don't know who went already.
I went, so just give it to Glenn.
Oh man, y'all waited forever. Sure, yeah, Glenn, do your thing.
Okay. I guess starting out, I will continue on with Hunter's remark, in that with the recommendation that Hunter pointed me to, these good folks over at Scyther, I also submitted some audio drama samples specifically for Sinestro, Rick Flag, Longshot, Cameron Hodge, and Starro the Conqueror. And so, as silly as it sounds, I really do hope I get Sinestro. Like that's the one I really want to do. Like out of all of them, Cameron Hodge also is a
dude. I still think if you can do the Skeletor voice, you need to do Starro as Skeletor. We had this conversation, he wraps around. Wraps around Superman's face.
I'm in your mouth, Superman.
I'm in your mouth, Superman. What will you do now?
Right. But no, it's super exciting
Rico's
stuff.
face right now. That's like you look
Do you
like
not
you
know
just
how
sniffed
Starro
a fart.
works? Like, okay, so in SpongeBob SquarePants, where they have the guy with the starfish on his face.
Mm-hmm.
the superhero guy?
No, he knows who Starro is.
Starro the Conqueror is? You do know how Starro
about
is,
me?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who Starro is.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's
I always kind of figured that was their like until I saw the because I don't know too much about Starro, but up until I saw the second Suicide Squad movie, I always thought it was kind of like Aliens, where they like shot like a thing down their throat and then kind of like took them over that way. I didn't think it was like little tentacles inside their armholes. I figured it was like either Aliens ripped it off or it was an Aliens reference.
I see. Yeah, like it. Yes, it latches into their brain via the star tentacles.
Yeah, these things.
Yeah. So,
phalanges.
anyways, the phalanges, right? The madre porcite, which is actually the
Fucking
other
nerd.
hole that a starfish has. That is the hole with which it respirates ocean water, because starfish, if you didn't know, don't actually have blood. They
I knew
have
that.
a water vascular system, and through the madre porcite, they're able to regulate the pressure inside of their body.
Now,
So
that's cool and all, but they
Yeah.
eat things, right?
yeah, they eat with their asshole, which is
Yeah.
also their mouth.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. Is like I've read a book to my child. Pretty sure
I
called
took
Everyone Poops.
I I took a aquatic science class back in high school with a crazy PETA member who was actually arrested at one point for protesting Neiman Marcus and covering herself in pig's blood with faux fur on.
Nice.
Yeah. I wonder what she's doing nowadays, honestly.
Probably wearing
because-
bloody furs.
Well, I was going to say, like, she first day I met her, she was like, "Hey, everybody, my name's so and so. I'm bipolar, so don't piss me off." And it's like, whoa,
Well, yeah,
lady.
it sounds like great ex-wife material.
She was somebody's ex-wife, actually, having just recently changed her last
Whale
name.
biologist, I call him like I see him.
Right? She was an excellent aquatic science teacher. Horrible political activist when it
Nice.
came to like showing an example to small children. But I'm not gonna get on that soapbox. But she did many times. My favorite sea creature is actinophores, by the way, also known as comb jellies, because of that class.
Glenn, I just
So
want you
anyways.
to know the only thing I'm going to take away from this podcast is that starfish are bulimic.
And they eat through their butthole.
It's
If it goes in and out the same
it's-
hole, they're bulimic.
It's an orifice. I mean,
Is that
if
what
you
the
want to
kids are
talk
calling
about
it these days?
if you want to
Are
talk
you
about
huffing starfish?
topology,
Orifices over here?
if you want to talk about topology, the only difference between us and starfish is that
We don't eat through our
you know,
buttholes?
no, that we have two openings to the same tube, but they only have one. So, anyways, enough about
Also-
starfish.
And that was Glenn's
Yep.
TED Talk.
That was.
If you
lightning
choose
will
to eat through your butthole and you do it with alcohol, you get drunk a lot faster. Life pro tip for
People,
you guys.
people
John
have
Cena proved
died
it.
like that. Please don't do that,
I want to ask, how do you
Don't
know
drink
that?
the
I'm afraid of
bottle.
the answer.
because it was in the
Weird.
news
Butt
several
chugging
years
is an
ago.
American rite of passage. Everyone knows
There
that.
was this guy who butt chugged 2 bottles of wine and promptly died afterwards.
Well, yeah, because
Do
you're
not butt
supposed
chug.
to. You're not supposed to drink 2 bottles of wine through your ass.
Do not butt chug. Okay,
Nope.
that is my one advice to you, young listener. Please do not stick alcohol up your ass. It is. You're going to have a bad time.
Oh my god.
I
So-
shoot in the back.
Special.
Can I
Not
shoot it
butt
up the
chug.
front?
Can I shoot it up front?
I will say this: that's
I
probably
don't think
safer.
it works like a
is-
straw, dude.
It is likely safer because of the fact that it doesn't have as much absorption in that area, right? Because
That
it is
you know of.
a bodily exit, because your body isn't trying to pull stuff out of it before it poops it out, right? Your body isn't trying to pull water out of your bladder, right? And if anything, it will be a skin effect, and you definitely don't have the same room in your bladder as you do in your large intestine. So for all intents and purposes, if you want to put it in the pee hole instead of the poop chute, that's likely safer and won't kill you. But that's not my medical advice. That's just logic.
I
So
really appreciate how your initial face for at least a good 3 seconds was just absolutely flabbergasted, just draw on the floor, and yet you still came back with a reasonable response. That was nice.
that's every day for me, bud. So
Like it was
I
a
have
broken
small
down
children.
reality.
They ask weird questions. So, anyways, enough about that. Let's move away from Starfish, away from butt chugging. Let's move on to something else. This week, I finally watched all of Steven Universe. It was because of the fact that they finally released season 5 of Steven Universe on Hulu, only to find out that Steven Universe Future, the continuity that happens after the Steven Universe movie, is going to be removed from Hulu in approximately 9 days. So I'm in a mad dash to consume that media before it is gone forever. So there's that. Let's see what else. Also, I played Black Myth Wukong for the first time today, and I was positively stunned.
That intro is really good.
The intro is fucking bops, bro. I played it in its native Chinese so that the lip syncing would actually match up with
I tried.
subtitles.
It's really hard to follow along.
I prefer it that way almost. Also, for each of the different enemies, did you know that there was like myths that are behind each one?
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting and a nice little piece of flair for your enemy's roster was that they had like stories about
the bestiary in the game is fucking awesome.
The bestiary in the game and the reasons why these particular creatures are the way that they are.
It's like pulling out like the AD&D monster manual.
It was really well done.
Great. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. I will say this, the third boss kicked my ass, and I have yet to get past him, the big white wolf thingy. That thing is beautiful poetry in motion. However, it is impossible to beat with my current gamer skill because I'm not a Souls-like player typically.
Fair. Before you get off Black Myth, Monkey sounded like a more masculine Frieza, did he not?
Yeah, I'll give you that, definitely, without pause.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was really, really well done. I like the intro even whenever they basically have full powered monkey fighting some thunder god.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really well done. Also appreciated the fact that they reached back without explanation to the original story of Sun Wukong and how they controlled him with the brass headband.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just kind of happened during the story. No explanation given.
No,
Culturally
it was explained. It was what Buddha gave Tripitaka the thing because Monkey was being a cunt.
No, that was explained outside of the game, though. I did not see that reference in game.
No, I thought you were referencing Journey to the West.
Right.
Yeah, no, in the game they didn't explain it at all. And
they didn't explain it, but it definitely invited the player in order to reach back into the story, be like, hey, wait a minute, why did that happen, and how is that?
I'm actually curious
how is
how
that
they
relevant?
were able to bring the tiara back, because I thought it was destroyed when he became a Buddha.
I don't know. I mean, it's how the gods control Sun Wukong. So there you go. But yeah, lore wise, spectacular. Really, really dedicated to the storyline. Graphics were beautiful. There was like no, arrow that says go here. There was like a little like trail that was kind of shown, but I mean, it wasn't like overt. You really had to be paying attention to it. And it's excellent. I can do nothing but sing its praises. Spectacular game. In terms of the Minecraft the Minecraft trailer that dropped.
I'm Steve.
Hold on. I will say this. I actually liked it. It's a hot take, but I actually liked it.
I'm reserving judgment until I see it. It
Yeah.
could be funny, but I don't know yet. Honestly, the
Right.
the graphics are what's kind of like taking me out of it. It's weird. I'm getting like what was that Pinata game on the Xbox 360?
Piata.
What was that? No, it was like
He was like, "Is it named Pinata?" Right?
no, it's something. It was like something Pinata where you played a like a llama Pinata, and it had very similar. It had like a very similar look to it because everything was like
Roger.
it was Minecraft graphics, but with a weird like realistic sheen to it. So it was really jarring.
So
really jarring.
the models that they used for the movie, I believe that is actually an alternative texture pack that you can apply to the game. And so for that matter, like I appreciate that because as a modded Minecraft player, like it was really easy for me to be like, oh yeah, this is just a texture pack, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on with
Jason
several of the
Momoa.
characters. Jason Momoa, my God,
That is
like
that is a look.
What character is he supposed to be?
He's the one in the
I'm
purple
thinking-
jacket.
No, I
I'm
know that,
thinking
but is
he's
it part of the game?
right. No. Because of the fact that in Minecraft you can create your own skin. I'm thinking that he's a dude with a girl's skin, and that's why he looks the way he looks.
Oh, that actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So this is the game. This is the game versus. Isn't there a Minecraft show though?
There is
Instead of a cartoon
there's
show
like
or
an
something.
interactive show. It was originally a Telltale game. That
Right.
Minecraft
Yeah.
story
Telltale.
mode. Telltale.
Yeah. And that was well done. Entirely too short. But honestly, I think as far as everything I've seen, I think it's actually be pretty good. Even with Jack Black as Steve. Although I wish they would have made him trim his beard to, had the Steve beard.
Well, no,
I think that would have sold it a little bit
Steve doesn't have
more.
a beard though. That's just his mouth.
He does.
He does have a beard?
He does have a
I
beard.
thought that was his mouth.
No.
Interesting.
That
Okay.
is Steve's beard.
Well, maybe
Why did
this
you-
Steve has been stuck in Minecraft for way too long. Maybe that's why he has the beard.
I'll go with the Jumanji approach. Why did you say it? Even though Jack Black is in the movie, it's going to be good.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't like?
Oh,
Jack
why
Black?
did I say that? Because everything that he's touched as of late has been miscast, in my opinion. I feel that
Literally
he
just
is getting.
Borderlands.
Yeah, we just talked about
Oh
this.
yeah, by the way, I watched Borderlands. It sucked. Carry on.
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
right. Yeah.
Are you saying he's not good in Bowser?
No, he was great in Bowser, but I'm saying a lot of the kids' films that he's done with Borderlands, maybe specifically
Borderlands wasn't
referencing
supposed
Borderlands.
to be a kids movie. It was dropped to a PG-13 rating because they didn't have faith and confidence.
Okay,
that it
pardon me,
would
not a
make
kids
money.
movie. It was a tween movie.
Okay,
Pardon me.
fair.
Let me get
I'll
this
take
right. All right. So, but yeah, all in all, actually, I thought it was pretty damn good, and I look forward to seeing it. So, enough about that. Started playing Kingdom Hearts 2 for the first time today, and that's the final remix version of it. And I honestly, I'm confused because of the fact that like there was like 2 or 3 games in between. I was like, oh crap, I got to go back and play those so that I understand actually what's going on. Because apparently Kingdom Hearts 2 doesn't follow Kingdom Hearts 1. That's how it goes. But we'll see what happens as it develops. Gameplay wise, I actually think it's far better. Significant improvements over 1, but that's what happens whenever you have a 2 of a game as opposed to a 1. What else have I been doing? A lot of Hogwarts Legacy, a lot of Void Bastards, which is a great game, by the way.
Did we talk about
Huh?
Didn't we talk about Void Bastards
Yeah.
last week or a couple weeks ago?
I don't know, but I'm still playing it, so there you go.
I remember there was a game I was supposed to play, and that sounded familiar, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, the latest reviews I've been reading about the latest reviews for the new Joker movie that debuted yesterday, I believe, over in the Venice Film Festival, and that critics are saying that it it did not live up to the hype, but it's probably going to make money. I personally, I'm going to see it anyways. I think I like that sort of dark, gritty realism, and the fact that it's musical makes it kind of fun. So there you go. But
I
yeah,
also saw other critics from it were saying that it's going to win an Oscar for being the number one movie of the year. So
yeah,
I feel like it's going to be a very personal preference type film.
yeah.
I'm interested to
yeah.
see if or how much money it makes, just to see if it. I don't think it'll beat Deadpool.
Well, I'm just going to say this is because of the fact that Lady Gaga's fan base is likely going to follow.
Yeah.
The Joker fan base from the first movie is probably going to watch it, if not for the sake of continuity.
Mm-hmm.
I think with those two combined, it should break, at least 50 million
Okay.
in sales at the very least. So we'll see what happens with that.
What did Deadpool and Wolverine end up making? Because I know it got number.
It crossed $1 billion.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely crossed.
Somehow
$1 billion.
it crossed
was like
$1 billion.
The top.
Somehow? What?
What?
What? Somehow?
No, isn't it the number one
Italian pizza eating
rated R box office movie ever?
Little
Yeah,
Freddie Mercury. I can't believe you said
So, okay. So it ranks
Yo,
as the second highest grossing movie of the year
Okay.
with 605.1
What's
million
number one?
in North America and 1.26 billion globally. The film was now only 18 million short of beating Avengers' lifetime domestic total to become the fifth highest grossing MCU movie in the domestic box office.
So what's the number one box office movie this year?
I don't know. Let me find out.
I figured it'd be on that page. Huh?
Not Super Mario. That came out last year.
Yeah. What else came out this year?
I don't know.
Okay, so domestic box office for this year, number one is Inside Out 2.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Inside Out, in the top four we have here, Inside Out 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, Despicable Me 4, and then Dune Part 2.
Oh yeah, Dune 2 came out this year.
Number 5, Twisters.
Nice.
Number 6, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Number 7, Kung Fu Panda 4.
Okay.
Number 8, Bad Boys Ride or Die. What the fuck?
I didn't even know that movie came out until 2 weeks after it was a thing, and I was seeing clips of it in like Facebook and YouTube Shorts.
Apparently, it grossed $193 million.
It must have been a slow year.
In domestic theaters.
No, Bad Boys is good. It's a good franchise.
No, but wasn't Bad Boys?
I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Just that you hate cops and you hate.
No, I'm just saying this because wasn't Bad Boys Forever not that wasn't it not that good?
No, it was good.
The third one was good.
Yeah.
I remember falling asleep through it. I didn't ever
good.
finish it.
Oh. Okay.
Number 9 was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and number 10, A Quiet Place Day 1.
Okay.
I've seen that one.
We're still making Planet of the Apes films.
Yeah, I think they're
Yeah,
almost
you
at
know.
the end. Aren't they almost done with what through the whole series that they wanted to make?
I think they got like 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
Wow.
I assumed when Matt Reeves left the project, it just ended like 10 years ago.
No,
Some interesting things here on the list. Ghostbusters coming in at the Frozen Empire movie at number 12. Alien Romulus, number 16. Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, number 23. Yeah, that's really weird how Godzilla -1 at number 66.
Well, that's because that one got like a very limited U.S. release, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
The Crow has only grossed $9 million at number 70, but then again, it just came out on August 23rd.
That's gonna be in streaming within the next like 2-3 weeks. I can't wait. I really want to see it.
Very stoked for it.
It is apparently super bad. Like it's apparently worse than Borderlands, at least according to Critical Drinker and a few other guys. So I can't fucking wait.
That would take
There's
talent.
quite a
Well,
few
we'll find
interesting
out
things
soon.
on the list, but I'm not going to be a guy reading a list. So that's my week, gentlemen.
week's
Oh
good
yeah,
one.
I got my first paycheck from my new job, so that's kind of cool. Yep,
Nice.
yep. And check this out. my dear wife got a job as well, her first salaried position.
Oh,
Oh yes, it's quite exciting, and so we'll see what comes of that. So
now she gets to
yeah,
experience what free overtime is.
free overtime. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
my favorite.
I guess it really is. But yeah, all in all, good stuff in this household. All right, let's pass it on to the beard brother down below.
Mm.
Rico, take it.
Oh. The week was just like you guys, not too much. As far as life, we just got done with a big inspection at my job site. Surprisingly, they didn't call me in, so no news is good news as far as that one. So we'll get the report later on, but right now everything is good. As far as the Labor Day weekend, did any of you guys barbecue? I did.
I did
I
not.
attempted. What? You're un-American. I swear to God.
I have a large portion of pig that's going to be smoked sometime soon.
Oh, I'd love to hear it. But I attempted to
Pig
smoke
that
wood.
I have killed with my own hands, or my own rifle, I should say.
Oh, wow. From a
It was a big pig.
helicopter or where?
No, I was in a blind, and it was a wild boar, and I shot it.
Please tell me you're burying it underground.
Y'all never
No,
seen that video
it's being
where they have
smoked.
a helicopter and they're chasing the hogs? It's in Texas, supposedly.
Yep, I've seen that.
Helicopter, helicopter. No,
I just appreciate that Rico thinks you're so ballin'. You're out here paying for private helicopters just to hunt boar.
Hey, I don't know.
you know, I
Texas
really
got so
wish I
big,
was
so-
there, but no. I was in a blind with my brother, and probably took one of the best shots I've ever taken in my entire life. And because the pig was at least 300 yards away, and I was shooting it with a Japanese rifle that was made back in the 70s.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a very, very accurate rifle. This company that made my rifle also made samurai swords before that. So yeah,
What made you get
it's a nice
Japanese?
rifle.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to you, Rico.
So far as TV anything, I finally completed season 3 of The Boys.
Nice.
Quick, simple assessment on it. No planning, just go with it. Chaos. That's usually how it goes in the seasons. The product placement was laughable, cringe. So like the A train goes to Africa. I was like, that was one where I was like, what the hell, dude? Like, even my wife was like doesn't make. He's like, I'm trying to get to my roots, and I'm like, no, dude, that's not how you. Like, you're just looking like a poser. When he did the commercial, first thing I said was, wasn't there a commercial, a Pepsi commercial with like Kylie Jenner or whatever?
Yep.
I was like, don't tell me he's gonna give it to the cop. Oh fuck! I was like, oh man, this shit. I was like, this dude. I forgot who's the story writer. What do you call it? The showrunner for it. I know he did Supernatural. That was like, that was kudos to that one of putting certain things that is in reality into the show, because this shit.
What is the name of the president? Do you remember
What are you talking about?
the name of the president in The Boys?
Don't remember his name. I just know the actor.
I don't think he's been elected yet.
Yeah, he's haven't been elected yet.
Yeah, not in.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like a punchline you're trying to lead up to yet, but
Yeah.
Dakota Bob hasn't been elected in the
Dakota
series
Bob.
at that point.
His VP was killed though. I know that. And now, who's it?
Right.
Newman.
But what I was going to say is
Really,
that
Joe Biden. Kinda
he's played by the same guy who plays Bobby in Supernatural.
Yeah. And he's
Right.
Dakota Bob. So you're saying the Bob and the
Yes.
Bobby.
Yes, there's that show. If you look for it, there's so many Supernatural references in the show. To include his classic catchphrase of balls. You know, whenever you just watch it, wait, pay attention, you'll see it.
Well, I know Dean is playing. So the guy who played Dean is playing Soldier Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Which coincidentally, his role for it was enjoyable. Like, it was like Captain America, but a shitty Captain America.
Yes.
So, and that was another point I made was like the enemy of my enemy has daddy issues. So you had like it's a weird to me. It was like weird headcanon where I'm like, how funny is it that Homelander has daddy and family issues? Soldier Boy, who's his son, has also daddy issues, and then Ryan, who's the grandson, also has daddy issues. Like this is just generational shit. But yeah, overall, season 3 was crazy. Herogasm didn't expect it to be at that level. Like I literally had to look behind myself just to make sure my kids weren't there.
I didn't think they were going to go for the comic book version of Herogasm, but I didn't expect it to become what it did.
My thing is, why did they did my boy MM wrong? Because season 2 Love Sausage.
Yep.
And then season 3 it was Love Sausage again, but then he opened the door and it was
gave
just like
him some love juice.
Yeah, and then you hear that one guy like smeared. What he said, "Smeared on yourself,
Yeah.
big brown man." I was like, dude, no. I would have to kill somebody in that scene. Like that was just like, Hunter said it was wild. He didn't tell me it was this wild. He did not give me the proper warning. I was not ready.
You didn't expect that when they gave you a warning within the first 30 seconds of that episode.
I didn't expect
Not to mention,
they really
given the fact that in the first episode, the Ant-Man equivalent jumps inside a dude's penis and then expands.
That was crazy because I figured that was going to happen, and my wife was like, "Oh my god!" Like this junk is.
When they did that, I thought they were going to do the internet meme that Ant-Man could defeat Thanos by jumping up his butt and getting big.
Yeah.
I think that was the episode that started the boys and their whole fascination with having little people go in and or on penises while zoomed up at an uncomfortably close level. It happens.
It does happen in Gen V as well.
And Gen V, yeah.
Somebody on that writing staff has some weird fetishes.
Dakota Bob, his name in the show is Robert Singer. And then Bobby from Supernatural is Bobby Singer. It's the same name. It's the same fucking name.
So it's the same universe.
Confirmed.
It has to be.
Absolutely.
It has to be. Anyways.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah, something else that you missed, Rico, because they did not adapt it for this, because that would have been weird and incestuous.
Oh my god, yes.
is that Homelander and Soldier Boy get it on annually at that retreat. That is part of the initiation process to become one of the 7, which is what Soldier Boy was doing.
Yeah,
he was just throwing one for his boy.
Yeah, but in the comics, Soldier Boy wasn't Homelander's dad, if I remember correctly.
No, they weren't related.
Yep.
but yeah, so they got jiggy with it every year, and they took it out for the show, which I guess makes sense. But
in the comic books, isn't it's he's played by a dude in the comics, but played by the Nazi chick.
Stormfront.
Oh yeah, Stormfront is a dude in the comics.
Stormfront, Stormfront is the father of Homelander in the comics.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, but instead in the comic in the show, well, you know how it goes.
Yeah,
these are my fucking tits.
So I mean, for the most part,
hold on. Seth Rogen had a hand in The Boys, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
The a hand in his pants. What?
Hence why he was in
small people on penises thing makes sense now.
Mm-hmm. It's like a live action of Sausage Party.
Yep.
Have y'all watched the series that came out?
There's a series that came out as a sequel. I haven't watched it yet.
Nope.
I've watched the entirety of it, and I will say it is not worth your time.
Oh god.
It is bad.
Movie.
Yeah, right.
It is. Yeah, the Sausage Party movie was bad, and I sadly I had watched that with my wife.
The Terminator anime?
Not yet.
No, I didn't know that existed.
Netflix has a Terminator anime. Timothy Oliphant is one of the voice actors too. What up? He would have been our dad had we not had our dad.
Okay.
Anywho,
what a way to phrase that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But no.
Tell me more about your mother's taste.
Apparently, though, it is really, really good. I've only seen like some bits and pieces of it, but it looks fucking awesome. So I'm gonna.
So I know that one. Preacher's on Netflix too, and that's also
really good. Preacher's really good.
Speaking of anime, have you seen that Uzumaki is going to get a full animated feature that's going to be coming out here soon?
Ooh, I did not know.
And oh yeah, no, and the trailer looks fucking amazing. I might actually buy HBO Max just to watch it.
What is it?
Fair. Uzumaki.
Uzumaki, it is a comic
That's the spiral
by
one, right?
Junji. Yes, it is the spiral one. In fact, actually, if I can pull it off my shelf without pulling everything
I
else
think we talked about it
down,
before. It's like a classic Japanese horror manga. It's really good.
it is a horror manga by the master, Mr. Junji Ito.
He's like the Japanese.
And I so happen to have the book right here on my shelf of Junji Ito that I have right here by my desk. It's thick, it's great, and I highly suggest reading it if you haven't. But yeah, it's going to get an animated feature.
Glenn will give you a piece of the hair he has from Junji Ito.
No, he'd charge a lot more than that.
Hell, if you give me $5.99, I will personally read Uzumaki in its entirety and as an audio voiceover for it.
Okay, I lied. Glenn's on that level. If you've got $10, he'll give you a Z job.
No, no, I just love Uzumaki, man.
Oh wait, we have to say the line.
So
What's a Z job?
Honey, if you got to ask, you can't afford it.
Oh, Beer Fest is that's a classic. It's a classic.
So in the presence of that good question reference, I would just say with the boys, it's my conclusion of it is just that I feel like it's a snowball going down a mountain. I had figured what was going to happen, but now that you kill, well, I knew they changed it so Black Noir is not going to be the guy to take out Homelander, and then the fact that Ryan's his son and Soldier Boy is still alive, I'm like, okay, well, Soldier Boy is still alive. Homelander is supposed to be better than him. I'm still wondering, okay, how are you going to depower him, whatever. So at least that got my interest. But
I'm very curious to see how they end the series, and you'll find out why when you hit the final episode of season 4.
Gotcha. Because I know it's going to go. Now that they killed the VP, and Deep is another he's just a sad character. Like that dude can't win to lose. Same with A-Train. Like you can't win to lose. You're your own worst enemy when it comes to stuff. So, I actually started rewatching The Sandman. I don't know if you guys watched that one on Netflix.
I have not watched
Great
it.
stuff. Read the entire comic book as well.
So apparently, I'm really sorry to jump in on this one, Rico. But apparently, this is
really?
super old news. Like, is he a sex pest? Is he not a sex pest? Like,
I haven't heard nothing about that.
He had a series that he was going to do with Disney. It was Graveyard Tales. Is that what it was? It was like one of his other books that Disney picked up, but they scrapped the project because I guess 4 women came out saying that he forced them into doing what is depraved sex acts, I think is how they put it, and like one of them signed an NDA. Like it's a weird thing. I read an article about it today.
Oh, I didn't even know nothing
That
about
is unfortunate because I consider myself a huge Neil Gaiman fan. But if in the case that he's,
Yeah, he might be a bit of.
if
a
in the
sex
case
pest.
he is, that's pretty fucked up.
But see, this actually does
Give
bring
me
up
your
a good
books.
question.
If you feel that way, give me your books. Send me your books.
But that is a good question. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty in this country?
It's not. It's a court of opinion. And once you got so many witnesses, that's it.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. When in a situation like this, like 4 people came up. I think there may have been a few more. It originated on one podcast. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was like from there it just snowballed. But whatever happened to like investigations or being like, oh, there could be something here, but we need to reserve judgment. Like, look what happened with Vic Mangione. Is it Vic Mangione? The guy who did the voice of Broly.
Mm-hmm.
Like the person came out and said that he did all these horrible things to her. When come to find out, he gets canceled, gets kicked off every show and everything, but she lied. And he never did any of these things, but yet now he's still painted as a villain. Like, there's still people who talk about him saying he's a piece of shit when he didn't do anything. And it's like, I just find that bullshit. Like, nobody waits to see what evidence is pushed forth. It's just guilty until proven innocent. And even then, when you get proven innocent, you still get fucked.
Well, the problem is, the way I look at it is that stuff been going on behind the scenes, behind the shadows for so long that once the Me Too thing came about, it highlighted stuff that been going on. Nobody's saying. The problem with that is that in an effort to bring those individuals who've been doing some dirty shit in the light, you're gonna catch people you're gonna have strays. Like it's no different than the criminal justice system. Far as you may have, you may send somebody that's guilty of a crime, but you're gonna get a couple of innocent people there. And again, depending on the time, the culture, and the folks behind it, you're gonna have a couple of innocent folks going to jail, going to prison. It just happens. And even those who get like you said, who the realization comes back that they didn't do anything, you still have that stigma for you because they still feel you're some way, did it or somehow. Like, you're just like the whole thing, like you're all men do all this bad stuff. And
right,
so
but I mean, in the same way, I mean, like classically, a lot of women victims have been shouted down and not given their time in court because of the fact that because the person just so happens to be famous and powerful. And so the only way to safely go about it is to go public with it in some ways, because of the fact that if it's out in public, then you have, the public watching and seeing the case as it goes instead of, basically getting chucked into a private matter that eventually doesn't allow the victims to get a voice. So, I mean, it in my opinion, it helps to stop the presses while stuff gets fixed. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But in that case, though, Glenn, let me get your Neil Gaiman books. Let me get those. As far as the show, though, I think it's okay. I never read the books. So the way the pace of the show going and how it explains certain things, it's kind of interesting. I know season 2 is supposed to be being picked up. And as far as the cast looks really good. I'm not going to lie, Def, respectfully, she's nice. I was like, yes, she looks nice. But he brought up an interesting question somebody asked me before was, if you were immortal, how long would it be before you try to end yourself?
Ooh.
And I was like, the guy who asked me the question today, I was like, in my mind, I'm like, due to the fact I'm kind of fearful, like I probably would just live my life until the planet blew up or the sun blows up or God comes back. Either way.
Drift out into space and become Galactus.
Also, in what way are you immortal? Because that becomes a much trickier situation.
So
because you can be immortal in pieces.
So in Sandman, there's an individual that every 100 years, he said he would never die. Like he was in the 15 or 1700s, and he just blurts out, "I'm not gonna die." Yeah, because it was the Black Plague. He's like, "I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna do this." And so the Sandman goes, essentially says, "Okay, I'll see you for the next 100 years." So every 100 years, he has to see this guy. And coincidentally, the guy that I know and I work with, when he brought it up, I was like, "Well, that's kind of interesting," because in the show, keeps asking me like, "Do you want to die now?" He's like, "No." He's like, "I lost a ton of money, but I win it back, whatever." But I mean, it's one of those things of, I guess in this case, if you weren't in pieces, like I think Glenn or somebody said, if you were just the same look, same health, similar to like say Highlander, how long would it be you think you will last until you're like, "You know what, I'm done. Like I'm out." Would you be like a not Randy Savage? Who's that? Savage from DC, where he's 10,000 years old? Or what?
I'd go for the long game on that one, just because I'd be curious.
Well, there's also like at one point the loneliness will probably get to you, because how many times you have to bury people that you care about, and or have to fade out of their lives for the sake of not being burned at the stake. For some sort of, societal shift that labels you as a monster because of the fact that you haven't aged.
Well, I kind of think of it like at a certain point, it'd be like, how when you have a pet, like if you had pets since you were a small child, eventually you do get kind of desensitized to when they die. Like, it's still a very sad thing, but
Well, it's just like what happened with
eventually you kinda
Gladriel,
get
or not
over it.
Gladriel.
It'd be the
in the
it'd be
Lord
the
of the
same with
Rings.
people, because you wouldn't view people as people anymore at that point.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like
but you'd have to
with the elves in
Yeah,
Lord of the
exactly.
Rings. Whenever Aragon and his hot elf wife, decided to get married. Basically he was like, you know what, you're gonna die alone, or he's gonna die. You're gonna be lonely, and you can't come with us. And I mean, it's I feel like a similar conundrum comes up with that, because love is you know a really, really tough thing, especially whenever, basically you can't follow after the people that you have loved. And so I think the loneliness would probably get to you first, within a couple of 100 years at the very least. Otherwise, you turn into a cynical bastard.
I'm very much
Yeah.
on the same thought process. I don't think I'd make it more than 300 years. That's exactly what I was thinking. Because realistically, if you're a guy and and you're at least an adult, you have what, 30 years if you claim really good healthcare and genetics, being around anybody you could or whatever know and love. If you're a woman, likely 10 years or so less. So like there's no way to create any sort of meaningful long-term relationship, for one. So yes, the loneliness would set in, but also as society keeps evolving and technology is improving, it's going to be really hard to figure out how you can get yourself a new alias. I don't know, 60 years down the road from where we're at now. I don't think
And God
you're really gonna
forbid
be
you
able to
murder
pull those
somebody.
systems.
Yeah.
If you murder somebody and you get stuck in prison for life,
Well, no,
And-
because isn't life actually not technically the life of the prisoner? It's an arbitrary number. It's like 700 years or so. Or no, it's 120 years, I think, is the max.
I'm just going to say
As far as
this,
a life
like,
sentence goes. But I think like the max
The-
sentence anybody ever got was like 780 years in jail.
I'm going to say this though, after 50 years and you haven't aged, then you're going to be taken out of normal prison, and then you're going to be put into, the government fucks me in the
test
ass
sites.
prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
and that itself presented something in the conversation I had with the guy. Actually, his name is Gus. Because I was like, well, in my eyes, I would think depending on how long you live, if I'm taking a cue from Highlander, you have some type of funds that you could do to change your identity and stuff like that as years go. But of course, yeah, if you get caught the way technology is, even when I mentioned the Highlander fights, I'm like, I said I would have to imagine they would have to pick certain areas to fight in because of the way cameras are. Even there's an article with involving Teslas where now if the cops perceive your Tesla as in what's called sentry mode, that if it's in the area, they'll get warrants to confiscate your vehicle if you want to give up your video. And they almost told this guy from Canada's vehicle.
Interesting.
So it's one of those things that, again, if somebody was living that long, what means do you have to change your identity after so many years, given the way the technology is? But
And
like I said, it was interesting to-
let's take the opposite, and let's say that society falls apart and goes technologically backwards, and then you're back in the Middle Ages and you get stuck in an oublet, and an oublet is basically just a hole that they stick you in, and they leave you there and forget about you.
Then you just become
you're
the
stuck.
troll. Then you just become Danny DeVito as the troll.
I'm just saying, like, you're stuck underground in a hole, forgotten, and that's it.
At
So-
some point, somebody's gonna dig that area out and put down.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do? You're going to be crazy,
Get
because
revenge.
the mind is a
After 10,000 years, I'm free.
yeah, dude. You just might be that crazy, thinking that you're fucking Rita Repulsa, like.
Oh,
He
hell
made best
yeah.
friends with a rock, It's just because even though
You
you're
leave
immortal,
Rocky out of this. He's a great friend. He listens.
even though you're immortal, doesn't mean that you won't go insane.
This is true.
Or worse, if you drown or you get trapped underground or something like
God,
that and you
yeah.
can't breathe, do you still get that sensation permanently or
Ooh.
do you not have to worry about breathing?
I wonder if that's something you
Or
test out within the first 100 years. You're like, I am
let's say
immortal.
that you
Let's see
go
what
to the bottom of the
happens.
ocean, right? There's a certain amount of ocean that can be above you where you won't float.
Yeah,
You'll
exactly.
just sink down to the bottom, and then you'll be stuck in the mud that's down there. That's several dozen feet deep, and now you're just crawling through like mud that's 20 feet deep at the bottom of the ocean in the middle of nowhere with no direction to go anywhere.
Start in one and
It's
just keep walking. You'll
like,
eventually hit
dude,
something.
I just love how this question was.
you'll spend
Innocently
1,000
asked,
years at the
"Hey, how
bottom of the
long would you
ocean,
guys
come up and be
survive if you
like,
guys just
and
went
not know
to
how to speak the language.
the
It's
deep
true.
dark end of it?"
Huh?
Like I said, I love how this question was given to you guys as innocently, like, "Hey, how long do you think you would survive? As far as being immortal." And you guys just went very dark. Oh, here's all the scenarios if you get trapped in a scenario. What if they capture you? What if you get in, the ocean? What if you get cut into pieces? I think
Okay,
you
well,
guys
here's a
went very.
better one. What if you do not have the emotional maturity required in order to be financially literate enough to set yourself up for real long-term success so you can be a multi-millionaire, billionaire, whatever it is, and you have to sit there and think to yourself constantly, I have to give up this first 60, 100, 150 or so years of my life so I can then enjoy the rest of it down the road. How long do you think you could actually get down
The
that path
boredom would
before you
kill
drive
you.
yourself
You
insane?
might
Interesting.
start a podcast with 3 of your buddies or something.
I said I'm immortal, so.
So speaking of podcasts, just gonna move this along. As far as wrestling, I did listen to the Chris Van Vliet. I always say his name wrong. With Damian Priest, so he was Mr. Senor Money in the Bank. If you get a time, just listen to it. It's like an hour. Really interesting on his journey because he didn't make it in the WWE until he was. I didn't know he was 41.
Wow.
Yeah, he looks. I mean, I'll admit it. He looks fantastic. Like dang, like if I was a Puerto Rican in another life, I want to look like him and be him because he's like 6'5" and stuff like that. But interesting
Steroids
story
are a
of,
hell of a drug.
I don't know. Hey, it's good genetics. He's on the good side of the island, but interesting journey he had as far as making it into WWE, especially since he was working at a job in Atlantic City that paid for his hotel room or his apartment, paid for his car, and they wanted him to quit wrestling, and he said, "Okay, here's my 2 weeks notice," and just walked away, and then started going to the gym to do wrestling full time. Um, Another one was Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
Oh.
You mentioned his name before, James Marstars. He was
Marsden?
on it again.
Mhm.
Yeah, he played Spike in Buffy. He
Yep.
was the Brainiac in Smallville. Um, did not know because I didn't know his name or his face, and that he played Dragon Ball. Like he played Piccolo in Dragon Ball. And to his credit, he said he felt so bad that he did the voice acting for Zamasu in Dragon Ball Super, I believe.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you wouldn't know it because he didn't give his real name.
Oh,
He gave
interesting.
another name. He's like, so he was like, he was making fun of Michael Rosenbaum. He's like, well, now you're revealing the secret. He said, because nobody really knew that was me. I changed the name because so much flack was given for as the Dragon Ball movie. He's like, I didn't want nobody knowing I starred in it. Even though he's covered up, you don't see his face. He's like, I didn't want to do that, but this was my apology to you by doing the voice of Zamazu, or however you say his name on that one. As far as games, I'm back into Destiny, concentrating on the dual missions that are now there. So that's another interesting question about co-op games. Do you guys love them? Do you hate them? When you play with your friends or family, do you get frustrated by them? Especially when it's something like the example I gave Nico earlier was I played a mission with one of my friends, and basically the way Bungie did it to where one person was light, one person was dark. You had to step on plates. Throughout the mission, there's times where only one person can see something and the other person can see something. So if I see the symbols, you have to shoot it. Mind you, there's a bunch of ads that come out, and you got to do crowd control, whatever. And even the symbols I call out may not be the ones you see on your screen, not till later on and stuff like that. So it was kind of comedic because my friend was going like he was nice, calm, and cool, and by the end of the night, I had to tell him to calm down. Like, dude, you're like, this is really getting to you. He said, man, it's just the difficulty. Bungie be doing this. Like I want to say get good, but then I don't want to get cussed out either. 'Cause he was about to have a heart attack on that one. But Fortnite, back in it with my son. Right now they have the whole power of Doom, and I'm not gonna lie, it's getting pretty fun. I actually liking Fortnite. At my old age on that one, I still not on my son's level. He lets me know that from time to time. By letting me know I need to practice more. I have to look at him like, do I want to choke him? Besides that, there was a next level event. There was a death in the community. I don't know if you guys clocked this. This was, unfortunately, it only lasted 2 weeks, and that was Concord.
Oh, yeah. That dude, that went over like a fart in church. 2 weeks, and they're
what was the max player count on that game?
Steam was
like 80 or something like that.
No, Steam was
so the max
2,468 players was their highest.
Yeah, 2,388 all-time peak. 2 months ago, that was the beta that they had. As far as right now, their peak in 7 days was, according to Stream, not PlayStation, whatever, 697.
Ooh.
So it had a 2 week shelf life. So it's going to be a full refund.
Yep. On Steam and PlayStation.
Yeah, they're going back. They said they're going to So basically, the notes I had was, I think they said it was about 2 million loss on the game. They didn't even make that. I mean, it was a big flop. There was about 100 million investment in it. It took 8 years in development to do that. One thing that people said was the main gripe is there's too many gaming options. I mean, this was part of the state of play for Sony, and at first it had my interest, and I think we talked about it a little bit on the game. But once it said it was a first person shooter, I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't. It's not my interest. I mean, if I want to do that, I got Overwatch, and somebody said Valiant. It was out there too. But now it seems like they're trying to overhaul the monetization of it and try to go to free to play and do something like that. But unfortunately, there's going to be layoffs expected. I feel it's going to be the same thing what happened with Bungie. Sony's going to come out and say we need to restructure. And those are going to be let go, and other people will be going somewhere else. But
see,
what are you
the
guys
thing with this
on
is, no matter what we say, Shigeru Miyamoto said it best. A delayed game has the potential to be a great game. A rushed game will always and forever be bad in the eyes of the player, or something like that.
Yeah, but can you still call it a rush game? It was 8 years in development.
It obviously needed more time in the oven because it was hot trash.
I mean, Bloodlines 2 must live by that that mantra. Because it still hasn't
Silk Song
been
is
released
living by
yet.
that mantra. I remember when Silk Song was going to be DLC for Hollow Knight.
My God. I mean, to their benefit, though. I mean, it's still less money than what Disney's losing on this Snow White movie.
True.
$300 million.
Well, I don't know. Like the thing is, it's almost like, so I saw the trailer for Concord, and it just looked like it was not going to be fun because it was just another hero shooter when we were kind of drowning in hero shooters.
Yes.
And
was it preaching its message as well?
I don't think so. I think it was just a hero shooter. I don't think it was as bad as Overwatch.
No, I mean, as far as any message, I didn't see any evidence of there being a message. You did have some creators that claimed that it was woke, but the claim for it being woke was that the characters didn't look like certain hero characters. So one guy was a medic, but he's kind of rotund, and so people were saying like,
Wait, you can't have a fat medic, bro? I've known plenty of fat medics.
Like he's not like overweight, but he
was
vaguely
hefty.
reminds me
husky. That's the word you use.
Yeah, like a husky. Like it vaguely reminded me of what was it? Tekken. Tekken had like a white character that was kind of like big. Like it was like Paul if Paul went the blob route.
Oh yeah,
I think it was Tekken or maybe a different game.
Might be.
So that's
either
why
Tekken or Street Fighter.
I think it was Street Fighter.
Street Fighter for Ed. Ed in Street Fighter 4, I think was his name.
And so it was
Fucking
like,
Ed, yeah.
so that's the way I look at it. But my whole thing is, if that's what you pull, that certain characters look a certain way because it's supposed to be woke or something, then I don't get. I think that was more of a false
False
accusation on it. Somebody mentioned pronouns, but I'm like, where the hell would you get pronouns from? Unless the pronouns were listed in the game, but then it's like, again, why would you have the pronouns there? But even if they had them in there, like I don't foresee me not playing the game if that was the case. Again, it's just if I go the Black Myth, what is it? Black Myth Route Warriors. Don't care about anything else. What is the gameplay? What is the interest in it?
Oh
If
my
the
god,
interest
we
is
didn't
not in there,
talk
then
about
it's
that
not,
last week.
you're not gonna
Did
play
you
it.
guys see the articles of like the couple journalists shitting on Black Myth Wukong due to sexism and lack of diversity?
You only need to look into the Steam discussion board in order to find that.
Oh yeah.
But then again, I mean, dude, it's a 3,000-year-old story.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, there's not going to be much
Chinese
diversity,
story.
especially when your main character is a fucking monkey.
No. You gotta have female monkeys in there.
God.
It's evolution. You got male, female monkeys.
I don't know. Monkey can like create. I think he can asexually reproduce monkeys. So
He can actually. That's one of his power moves.
Yep. think
question
think
on-
Naruto's
question
multi-man jutsu, but they don't disappear.
So,
One quick-
have you already wrote this for Rule 34 yet,
Oh, of
or
course.
are you just planning to?
Of course. So there's already 3 drafts up.
Oh, good.
Wukong on Wukong, hot action.
Well, also on Black Myth too. If you guys don't know, there's a Goku mod where he's
Nice.
on Nimbus.
Nice.
If you don't know, but,
That's great.
I guess my last question for Congo would be, and it will end my week, is what are your current feelings about live action games? Is this something that is foretelling of
Live
like they're
action
done?
games? You wanna...
Yeah, because it's supposed to be a live action service for Concord.
I think games as a service
a gas
is
game.
Okay.
Games as a service I think is kind of going the way of the dinosaur.
As it fucking should.
Because of the fact that you have basically a limited time investment in purchasing. You purchase this game for $50-$60, and then turn around. You can only play it for maybe a year or two, and then it's gone forever. And so and that's games as a service.
Key point: Diablo 4. Diablo is not the type of game that needs to be a live service game. Like with things like Destiny, okay, I can understand why they wanted to be a live service, but at the same time, what was stopping them from just making it a regular ass action RPG like the Outer Worlds?
Or for that
Only
matter,
Activision
something.
at the time, because Activision wanted to make it like
because they want to get all
Call of
that money
Duty.
through the microtransactions, but at the same time, it's like you're gaining. It's almost like it's a short-sighted look at your customer base, because we'll get all this money now, and then we can push another garbage thing on them in a couple years and abandon this project. But then you get people like Rico who are super into Destiny, and they get saddled with the garbage, but they'll keep on going because maybe it'll get them a third game.
Well, for me, in that case, for me, you do have players like that. I think for me, I'm the other type of players where it's like, while the solo play is usually what we do, we don't really do, group gaming because a lot of people have moved on. I think it's more of just the lore. In a way, I always joke around like I'm a glutton for punishment. Like I know some of the material is going to be crap, but it's always I want to finish the story. Like when Final Shape came out, it was all about I want to finish the story. No different than Halo when I was with Halo in that part. So me, I am in agreement. I don't need a live subscription game. I hate the fact that stuff is time gated. That's one thing I hate about those services. Because like right now with Destiny, I gotta wait for a reset just for you to come out with a couple of more quest steps. And that's it. Like it's like
did this
release
really
everything
well,
at the same
surprisingly enough. Square Enix, Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, 15. There is no time gated anything as far as I remember reading. It's like when you start.
Well, I mean, that's because it's an MMORPG, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. What is a live service if not trying to be pushed as an MMO? Destiny you could count as an MMO.
Definitely, I agree.
MOBAs.
So,
Oh yeah, okay, fair MOBAs. I'll give you that.
but I mean, all the same, I think that with the backlog that players have nowadays, it is hard for someone to, basically drop whatever game that they're progressing in their backlog, and then turn around and play a game that is a live service, and take the trickle as it comes, and then let's say you stop playing it and you go do something else with it, or do play some other game, and then you come back and you have to relearn how to play the game.
Oh yeah, that always sucks.
It's yeah, and so it's one of those things where if you're not basically pushing out constant content with a live service game, then you're gonna lose your base, and people are gonna stop playing it. And so, I mean, it's something with a limited lifetime, and people don't want to spend a fuck ton of money for it, especially if in the case that it's something that they're going to have to continue paying for in order to get the full enjoyment of, especially whenever it comes to basically doing things like dailies, just to stay relevant for, whatever, set of equipment that you need. The grind, I think, turns a lot of people off because of the fact they've been burnt by so many games as a service that basically use that as filler content.
It's
low
like
effort.
streaming services. You'll get a couple good ones, and then everybody else just wants a piece of that pie, so then they separate off and make their own. And once the market gets oversaturated, everybody loses.
Yeah, and it makes it even worse whenever it comes to, I guess, like streaming service exclusives, right? Because of the fact that you need to have HBO Max in order to watch a particular Junji Ito show.
Well, yeah, like that's the thing. That was the whole reason why I cut cable, was because there's so many channels I don't watch. What's the fucking point when I can get Netflix and Hulu and have pretty much access to everything, and then. Yep. All the major studios saw it. And then Paramount pulled all their shit off Netflix and did their own thing, and then Disney did their thing, and they bought Marvel and did that with Fox. It's just like, it's just so oversaturated. It's like, okay, how do I, like, let me ask you, does anybody on here know how to watch 24? Like, where can you stream it? Just off the top of your head.
Plex.
Probably on Hulu.
Paramount.
Actually, Hulu would make sense because
it's a Fox show.
Yeah, Hulu owns Disney, or Disney owns Hulu. But you Plex, nice. But yeah, it's just like it's kind of ridiculous. And then you have certain, like, some movies where one company loses the rights to it, but then it never gets re-uploaded again. Like, where do you stream it?
Where do you stream Tammy and the T-Rex?
Probably Shout Factory, I would think.
No,
really?
No. The only way that you can get it is by purchasing the movie on Prime. There is no streaming option for
it.
So it sounds like you guys are saying we should be investing in physical media then.
Well, I would love to invest in physical media. Yeah, but have you been to a Best Buy lately and seen the pathetic area they have set for physical media? CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays are now mixed together and get a small little, maybe 6 to 12 foot shelf. That's it.
Not to mention they're incredibly overpriced because of the fact that the market share is so small.
Yeah,
and they have to make up for those production costs by basically making you pay $30 for a movie.
Hey, this is what you guys wanted. You guys want to do this, and now they said, "Hey, get used to now."
Yep.
Own it. This is what you want.
And then you also run into the issue, how many systems actually come with drives now? Like, unless you're paying extra money, the PlayStation, the Xbox don't have it. PCs and laptops haven't had optical drives in years. Like, unless you physically went out of your way to get one. It's like there's really no way to watch movies anymore unless you go out and buy something for it.
I personally purchased a VCR strictly for the sake of watching old movies on VCR.
That's maybe a little too far for me. That's coming from somebody who still plays the NES.
Right. Anyways, was that everything that you had for the week there, Rico?
Yes, sir, host. That was the last of my week right there.
Fair enough. Was there anything we wanted to debate?
We can debate how cool something is.
How cool.
So Hunter, your mustache is so fucking cool.
Fuck yeah, it is. No, so I don't know if y'all are aware of this,
under your nose.
but there was a change that Apple was forced to make to their App Store recently, where now they no longer have sole control of who's allowed to be in their App Store. The permanent payment portion, like being always taking a portion of the payments for anything that goes through their system. It was all basically a result of the battle that they had with Epic Games for the credits if people bought anything through their platform. Or I believe the issue was Epic was routing people out of paying through Apple's system and into their own payment platform on the mobile device, which they weren't allowed to do. And so because of that, now Apple has opened their App Store, and you can go on there and you can download this wonderful app that's called Delta. And I turned my phone afterwards because I realized my daughter was on the screen. But no, that is Pokemon Emerald, but I can't get it
one of the emulators.
To show. It is an emulator, and it is so easy to get ROMs on this thing. Like, I just added a file to Discord, and I clicked the link on Discord on my phone, and it magically showed up inside of this app. And I have Pokemon Emerald at home. I love it, but I hate trying to tote around my Game Boy everywhere and remembering whether or not it's charged, because the battery in the Game Boy itself sucks these days, right? But the game just shows up on here perfectly. You get the pad at the bottom of the screen, and it has haptic feedback, so it gives you like a little buzz when you click the button. It's not quite the same as using an actual physical device, right? But I mean, it's close enough. And it's great. I've been playing Game Boy games all week because of it.
So the one drawback, I guess, from them having to open their store, doesn't that run the risk of a whole bunch of harmful apps being able to find their way onto the store? Things that steal people's data and stuff like that.
Absolutely. But I mean, TikTok's already on there, so clearly we're not that concerned.
Right?
What?
Oh my god! Yeah, spyware, bro.
Yeah, that part is the kind of unfortunate, I suppose. But there's still so much control that Apple has around the update process to put any new versions or applications onto their platform, just from what I know from professional history of getting apps put on the App Store. And I think you have to work pretty dang hard to get it to the point where you could get some hefty malware through their process.
Well, and it isn't so much malware, but like adware and stuff like that, I think is where the bad part comes in, because of the fact that there's things that can gather data for all sorts of crazy crap. Not to mention the fact that it provides stuff like backdoors and stuff like that. So in some ways, yes, malware, but yeah, I don't know. It feels like if it isn't concierged properly, that things could go really, really bad, especially with software that a lot of users believe is untouchable because of the fact that it's Apple, and thus nobody creates viruses for Apple, quote unquote. But I mean, with a huge user base, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. That there was an app at one point that when you downloaded it and installed it on your device, it used part of your resources on your iPhone to mine Bitcoin.
It made like a botnet or some sort.
Yeah, that was one that was out there for a good 6 months before they were able to take that one down. So you likely will get more of that type of thing. But I mean, you also get that on the internet. One thing that was really fun a couple of years ago, ESPN through some sort of malicious actor, if you went to their website and you left the tab open in your browser, it would mine cryptocurrency and start just hogging incredible amounts of resources. And people were freaking out because they'd try to use their browser and go to ESPN because that's their home screen or whatever, and their computer kept crashing, and they couldn't figure out what was causing their computer to die, and it eventually pointed back at them. It was a great scandal. It was a lot of fun.
My goodness. It seems we've lost a Nico, and I dare say that we're running towards a good stopping point for the podcast. The what do you say, guys? Do you think that's podcast?
I can call that a podcast.
Yeah,
I think it's a podcast. Well,
All
thank
right.
you all, gentlemen, and thank you all viewers from the Nerdverse Odyssey. Young Nico, whenever he comes back, will likely see an empty room and be appalled at the loss of his compatriots. But all the same, we wish you all a pleasant evening and keep gaming. Rico, you want to send him out?
Yeah. Drink water.
So are we putting money on whether or not he even hit record before he left?
I don't know. You know, I think I'm going to be quite happy if he doesn't. Oh Christ. Anyways, so yeah, fun stuff. For you, if there's people still listening, let's start story time. You want to do story time, just in case this accidentally gets put on the podcast.
Oh man, it better not. But yeah, go ahead. Let's see what you got.
Give me a subject, and I'll tell you about something in my life that happened in regards to it.
Ponies.
Anything. Ponies. Okay. So there was a good friend of mine who I knew back in college that I won't say his real first name, but I will say his nickname. It was Blondie. And young Blondie was a brony. This guy, he was a honest to goodness brony. You know, spoke platitudes about the wonders of bro hoofdom and things like that. And so for his birthday, I commissioned a piece for my wife who does spectacular art. And she's an awesome illustrator on top of being a PhD student, an aerial gymnast, and all around hottie. So she did a picture with him and I in a pony sona doing a bro hoof. And he was in the Air Force at the time. I was in the Army. And so I was an earth pony, and he was, you know, whatever the pony is with wings. And it was spectacular. And to this day, that piece of artwork sits inside of his computer room, hung up on a wall in a rather prominent place. So yeah, yeah. There is a picture of me as a pony somewhere out there in North Dakota.
And one day it'll end up in a museum.
One day, maybe. Who knows, man? But yeah. So before this goes on too long, I think I'm going to hop off. Y'all take care and have a pleasant evening, gentlemen.
All right. Have a good night, man.
Good night.
All right, good. So now that we're alone,
How are you doing?
I'm doing great this week. I'm glad this week is over though.
Good. Oh yeah, you get the day off tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah,
Did
so
you
So he
decide
came back?
Stay away.
Say what?
Oh, he hasn't come back yet.
Nope.
No.
No.
Did you just drop off for 10 seconds
Sorry.
and decide, I want to come back?
Yeah, well, because of the fact that I wanted there to be a hard stop that Nico couldn't add to the podcast.
No. I assume that he's probably going to stop at drink water. Or not. Hey, there he is.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, Nico, we ended the podcast, by the way.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Hey, Glenn would do the most. Glenn was like, "Yeah, he's not coming back, so we're gonna end it right here, guys."
Yeah, and then Glenn left for 30 seconds, got some FOMO, and then immediately came back.
Nice. And so that was a podcast, everybody. Congratulations. Hey, Rico,
No, we already
drive
did
us
this. You
out.
need to go back.
No, that's
and cut
fair.
it.
No, I'm not gonna.
No, you're gonna.
I haven't
We already
stopped recording
we
yet.
did all
Nope.
of this.
This is staying in.
I knew it. I knew he was going to do this.
Even Glenn's.
I don't know
Oh,
what.
okay.
I don't know what Glenn said. I don't care. I'm posting it.
He told a brony story. I don't know if you want to be associated with that.
This could be fire. Anyway,
No.
take care, everyone.